Okay. So good day everyone. We are group 4 and today we're going to tackle about aircraft manual catalog and documentation. Next please. This presentation discusses on the purpose of TCDS, STC, and instruction for continued airworthiness in a certain aircraft. Next. Type certificate data sheets. Next. So, type certificate data sheets were first published in January 1958. They are FAA documents that record the certification data of an aircraft or product. Next, please. It is a formal description. It is a formal description of the aircraft, engine, and propeller. It lists limitations and information required for type certification, including airspeed limits, weight limits, thrust limitations, and so forth. It serves as a formal description of the aircraft engine or propeller, including air speed limits, blah, blah. So where to find the data type certificate data sheet of a specific aircraft? Next.
Where to find the type certificate data sheet of a specific aircraft. Next. So you must go to the FAA type certificate data sheet TCDS and search the page and download the PDF for the said aircraft. Say, mao niya ang guide to find the type certificate data sheet of a specific aircraft.
Here's our airplane that we have 1-3.
For further guidance, you must click the video.
So, supplemental type certificates or STC. Next. So, an STC is issued when modifications are made to an already type certified aircraft, engine, or propeller. When an aircraft is designed and that design is formally approved for manufacturing, the manufacturer is issued a type certificate or TC, and then is issued by the FAA to signify the airworthiness of an aircraft design and may not be changed except by formal authorization of the FAA. Next. So its purpose is approving modifications to an original aircraft design and includes product changes and compliance with safety standards. So this formal authorization supplements the original TC and is called the Supplemental Type Certificate. Therefore, the STC issued by the FAA approves a product, aircraft, engine, or propeller modification. Next. So an STC defines the product design change, and it states that how the modification affects the existing type design and lists serial number effectivity. It also identifies the certification basis, listing specific regulatory compliance for the design change. Information contained in the certification basis is helpful for those applicants proposing subsequent product modification and evaluating certification basis compatibility with other STC modifications. So what is a supplemental type certificate and when is one required? Next. So to keep it short, civil aviation authorities like the FAA or EASA or EASA issues an STC when major changes are made to a type certified aircraft. But these changes do not require a new type certificate.
So, how does the STC or Supplemental Type Certificate process for the FAA work? First is an STC applicant must submit a certification plan to the FAA that details the proposed alteration to a type certified product and how that alteration will comply with the applicable FAA regulations and guidance material. The FAA reviews the certification plan and issues an STC project number if the plan is accepted. Next is the applicant develops the required engineering design, analysis, and continued airworthiness data, as well as ground and flight test plans. After reviewing and accepting the data, the FAA issues a prototype installation and, if necessary, testing authorization for the proposed modification, usually in the form of a type inspection authorization. The applicant will complete the prototype modification to the product and conduct the required testing. The prototype modification and testing are witnessed by an FAA delegate, usually a designated airworthiness representative, DAR, and or designated engineering representative, DER. Upon successful installation and testing, the FAA will issue the STC. So 5 primary steps in getting a supplemental type certificate. First is to fill out an application form, FAA 8110-12. Second is detailed test and computations. Next is conformities for the test airplane. Next, accomplish test and computations. And lastly, submit your documentation to the FAA.
So last but not the least, instruction for continued airworthiness, or also known as ICA. Next, Dol. The FAA's requirements from 1980 created a standard set of rules for maintaining aircraft engines and propellers. These rules ensure consistency in the maintenance data provided by manufacturers. However, there are still some differences in materials from specific component vendors. Next. So, all the documents used to support aircraft maintenance are called ICA, or Instructions for Continued Airworthiness. Manufacturers of aircraft, engines, and components must provide these documents to ensure the safe upkeep of their products. So the purpose of the ICA keep the product airworthy. They provide documentation of necessary methods, inspections, processes, and procedures. Next. For example, Aircraft Maintenance Manual, or AMM, covers the whole aircraft. Next is Engine Maintenance Manual, or AMM, focuses on the engine. Component Maintenance Manual, CMM, covers individual parts. Next. Sorry,
Major repairs may change ICA. Next, because major repairs can change existing maintenance practices or inspection intervals. We require the developer of the repair to assess them for changes to the ICA or existing maintenance practices. For example, major structural repairs may need more inspections. Repairs on static engine components could even influence the life limits of critical rotating parts. The person holding the inspection authorizations of authority to approve the return to service is responsible for determining if any changes are necessary to the existing product ICA. Resulting from the major repair, then the person must ensure the revised ICA are available to the owner or operator. Major alterations may change ICA. Because major alterations are subject to the same airworthiness requirements as the product, we require the developer of the alteration to assist all major alterations for changes to the product level ICA. Next. Then they must take the revised ICA available to the owner of the product. See Order 8200.10 Airworthiness Inspector's Handbook for more information on the requirement for ICA on major alterations.
So in conclusion, understanding TCDS, STC, and ICA is vital for ensuring the airworthiness and safety of the aircraft, engines, and components. These documents are the backbone of aircraft certification and maintenance procedures. So thank you guys for listening.